Hi class, we're Group 10 and our topic for today is sustainability. My name is Dal.
I'm Ryan.
I'm Devin.
I'm Mike.
I'm Haley, and sustainability is actually my minor. I became interested in it last year when I took Sustainability 101 as an elective, and after taking it, I became more aware of how severe an issue climate change really is, and I wanted to do something about it, so I decided to minor in it.
So before we start our presentation, we have a few questions for the audience. How many people know what sustainability is? And how many people think it is important? So the definition for sustainability is the act of maintaining the current resources for the present and future generation. In other words, it means that we do things such as recycling, planting more trees, and using solar power and wind power instead of fossil fuel to keep our environment clean. And by doing so, we are enable the earth to continue supporting our life. Why is sustainability important? It is important because it prevents damages made by global warming, which lead to climate change. Global warming means it refers only to the Earth's rising surface temperature, and climate change includes warming and the side effects of warming. By side effects, I mean melting glacier and heavier rainstorm. And it is important to talk about it because not a lot of people heard of it, and even if they do, they don't care.
So there's three numbers that can help us understand how critical an issue global warming is. The first number is 2 degrees Celsius. This number is the amount that the Earth can, the temperature of the Earth can be raised before we're in trouble. We've raised the average temperature already 0.8 degrees. And this has caused far more damage than scientists have predicted. So if we're already at 0.8 and it's caused far more damage than the number than what they predicted, then if they predicted 2 degrees Celsius, then obviously that's probably something that should be lowered. So the second number is 565 gigatons. This is the amount of carbon that can be emitted into the atmosphere to have a reasonable chance of staying under 2 degrees Celsius. And by reasonable, they mean a 4 in 5 chance. The third number is 2,795 gigatons. That's the amount of carbon already contained in coal and oil and gas reserves of fossil fuel companies. This is a number 5 times greater than 565 gigatons. So the problem is that we plan on emitting way more carbon than what's safe for the Earth.
What can we do to reverse this? No one person or even a few can make an impact on this issue. The biggest issue is to convince big business to change their ways and how they go about their sustainability agenda. Because even the smallest impacts, the smallest decisions can make the largest impacts on the Earth. Such as companies reducing the amount of plastic they use in their bottles. For an example, Poland Spring changed the amount of plastic they used in their bottles in 2012 from 14.6 grams to 9.2 grams. And this saved them about 200 million pounds of plastic that will not be in a landfill. Not every company embodies this though. As a personal example, I used to work for Environment Massachusetts, and I was taught at that job that larger companies actually carve loopholes in the Clean Water Act in order to pollute in neighboring rivers. A couple examples of how larger companies can be more sustainable. In 2008, Walmart switched from regular detergent to a more concentrated detergent, and in a 3-year span, they saved 400 million gallons of water, 125 million pounds of cardboard that were used in shipping, and over 500,000 pounds of diesel truck fuel, which prevented 11 million pounds of CO2 emissions from being released into the atmosphere. Another example was from Coca-Cola, who increased their water efficiency by 20%, and in a 10-year span, from 2005 to 2015, they were able to save 7 billion gallons worth of water.
Visualization, large companies moving towards being more sustainable. Some examples are Ford Motor Company, General Electric, Starbucks, and Nike. Ford has started to make more eco-friendly cars, and over the years have seen huge improvements. In 2013, they produced their 2 millionth EcoBoost car from the Ford Fiesta and the Ford Focus. And another thing they started doing is reusing old car materials to help make their new ones as a way of saving time, money, and more power. Starbucks has started making more trash cans to help recycle and reduce the waste that's in the environment. They also have certified LED stores, which for those who don't know, LED helps reduce all the energy that's being consumed in one's house, business, or office. And also they have a new water and energy conservation where they're trying to recycle and reuse their water and all their electricity. And more companies need to be more sustainable. And as a result of this, small changes can lead to big results. And if we use more LED bulbs and water-saving equipment, we should slowly but surely we can see an improvement over time.
So, now that you all know and understand what sustainability is, you may want to take action to help. Before you start, it's important that you do research to understand which companies are and are not sustainable. Also, before I give you any specific ways you can help, I'd like to give an example. In the 90s, a large activist campaign targeted Nike's abuse of outsourcing labor and using cheap labor in countries that don't have labor laws. This activist campaign was very successful and caused Nike to look into their supply chains and make them supervised instead of the employees being abused like they always had been. As UMass Dartmouth students, there are 3 different things you can actually do to make a difference. The first is Net Impact Group. This group is comprised of both students and professionals. This group is designed to help make the world more sustainable by using each member's own individual business skills. The second group is the UMass Hunger Initiative. This is just a student organization aimed at targeting global hunger issues. The third is a fee that was actually voted off of the tuition for this year. This green fee is just $15 each semester that helps go towards things like the water recyclers you see in our water fountains that are actually very useful and I enjoy using. Haley is a part of both the Net Impact and Hunger Initiative groups and enjoys them very much and thinks they're very useful. On April 5th to April 7th, you can actually vote during the student voting for the Senate and other things like that on student government. During that time, you can vote to have the green fee put back on. It's only $15 each semester and actually goes a large way towards making this campus more sustainable. Also, the Net Impact Group comes out each year with a GRI report, which takes down how sustainable this campus actually is. And when you look at it, you can use it to make this campus more sustainable in the future. Now, those are just 3 ways you can make the world more sustainable.
Hey, Professor.
So,
Yeah, I saw that.